Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll forgive me an indulgence, especially those of you watching this on YouTube, have you ever heard of this game? And for those of you who pass that particular filter, how many of you have played this game? This is a DS game, of course. Came out in 2006. That makes it 11 years after their last 2D game, which was the one we just played, actually, Yoshi's Island. And it's actually kind of hard to underestimate the impact this game had. I know that sounds strange, because most of you are probably like, I don't think of this as a particularly big splash of a game. But it was. Ignoring the obvious fact that it was a return to 2D. It was a return to 2D by a major developer who proved that it could still be not only a good game, but, more importantly, could sell well. So this is a game that came out alongside giants, such as the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series started up this year. This is 2006 now. Dead Rising came out. Oblivion came out. Twilight Princess. Metal Gear Solid Portable. There's a whole bunch of games. And amongst several of these, the game we're about to cover today is still one of the best-selling games of all time. In fact, it is the second best-selling Mario game ever. And even that has a giant asterisk next to it because Super Mario Bros. The original is the best-selling Mario game. But that's counting every real release that game has had, including the bundled copies. So the fact that this game, completely on its own, no re-releases, no bundles, no nothing, has sold 30 million copies is absolutely gobsmacking. And like I said, this is one of the best-selling games of all time across all of history. Now, you've heard of the Switch bump. Naturally, the DS bump was a similar thing, since after all, the DS is the second best-selling console in history. So it makes sense that a Super Mario game, a mainline Mario game on the DS would sell well. After all, it's not like Mario 64 DS sold it particularly badly. But even Mario 64 DS only sold 11 million copies. Almost a third of the amount that this one sold. I know it's shocking, Mr. Ed, but you're going to have to believe me on this one. But again, because that made such a splash and moved so many numbers, and is still a record setter to this very day, a lot of other companies looked at this and said, oh, I guess we can do 2D games today, again. And if you pay attention, there's a noticeable arc where a lot of developers, most notably the indie scene, started going back into the idea of 2D games. And I don't know how to explain how important that is. It's kind of like the Super Mario Brothers original, right? It was going to happen at some point by someone at some time. But this was the game that kind of announced it's okay to not have a 3D game. Now, all of that is hysterical to consider because this is, in fact, a 3D game. It's just smooshed onto a 2D plane. But hey, here it is. We got some cool stuff. Everything's neat. This actually, I'm pretty sure I talked about this during the Shantae series. I don't remember if I did cover it specifically, but this game did have an impact on Shantae and getting one of the Shantae games, the third one, I believe, actually funded and get that green light, among many, many, many others. So, having said all of that, I have never 100%ed this game, so that's something I'm going to be working towards during this particular playthrough. Don't worry, it's nothing extensive. In fact, 100% of this game is really quick and really easy. Oh, absolutely, Blade Chaval, no question. So all I have to do is get all the coins in every level. This game is kind of strangely structured in that several of its entire worlds are completely optional. You'll see what I mean in a minute. It also is interesting because... So, I'll try to talk about some of these as we go. Obviously, there's the blue shell power-up, which is... This is going to sound strange, is unique to this game in so much as that, other than the obvious Mario Kart inspiration, the blue shell has never been seen outside of this game. This game also is what brought us the Mega Shroom, and I think it was the first iteration of the Mini Shroom. No, Pika. Or rather, to answer your first question, yes, this game has the same mini games the Mario 64 DS has. And we'll get the exact same plus and minus that Mario 64. It's the same minigames. It's the same minigames. But we're not doing them on camera for the exact same reason that, because we've already done it. We've already covered it. There's no reason to recover it. The nature of how they do the stage design and the mapping and the routing is all completely different. But the other interesting thing is there is something of a narrative to this one. This game was actually designed as a direct sequel to Mario Sunshine, of all games. And we'll talk a little bit of that as we go. So, without further ado... As usual for the 2D Marios, the story starts by just walking by the Mushroom Kingdom and then something bad happens. Every frickin' time. Hmm? If the models look familiar, it's because they are identical to the ones in Mario 64 DS. They literally just copy-pasted the models over into this game. Wow. Well, there's something I'm just going to violently disagree with, Yura. It's okay, I'm sure you agree with whoever that person is, and not me. So, you can't really see it, but I'm going to showcase something really quick here. Which I have to do this to do. So this is the bottom screen down here, right? Immediately just glancing this, you could tell World 3 or 4 and World 6 or 7 are actually completely optional. You can just skip them. This is keeping in line with the general overall design that the games have practiced since Mario Bros. 3. You have multiple routes to the stage, you've got optional stuff, and then you've got mandatory stuff, and there's always a castle blocking your way. Cool, I'm with that. You'll notice the worlds themselves do that too. That is to say, the levels within the world. So it's a neat little thing. Let's go ahead and scooch that back out of the corner there and get on with it.
Here I go.
A black and red peach wig. So, two things really personify the new series as a whole. One of which is the music, or not even the music, just the audio style. There's a general approach to the game being what I can only refer to as smooth jazz. It's probably an inaccurate term. But you get the general idea, right? Even the concepts of how the people are just kind of chatting in the background. You know, that that whole thing, you know? So that's how the Mega Mushroom works. The more stuff you destroy, the more one-ups you get from it. Notice the game opens with that, by the way. The new series also is floatier than any of the previous Marios, whereas most Mario games are either snappy or... Whoa, 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 whoa. So we've already got to redo a stage. They're either snappier or they're, you know, Mario Brothers 1. You of course can't tell there's actually a mini-map on the bottom screen, which is kind of neat, which shows you your progress through the level.
Here I go.
The good news is, unlike Yoshi's Island and 3D Land, we can just go and collect the second coin and be done here. Bad news is I didn't find it immediately, so I'm just stupid, apparently. So we're going to skip the Mega Mushroom this time. Yeah, there's the first one. You can tell the level design of 1-1 is designed to be very, chill is the word I want to use. There's the third one. What was the second one? Am I going to have to Google where the coin is on the first stage? Okay, here we go. Like, I anticipate having to pull up a walkthrough at some point. Oh, I should probably explain at some point why I haven't 100% of this game. It's because it's on the DS. That's it. That's the reason. Now, I imagine several of you actually understand immediately what I mean by that. What's going on? What happened? What happened?
So nice.
Okay, hold on. Well, we got the coins. That's the important part.
Here
Let's
I
do
go.
this stage for a third time and figure out what the hell's going on with the screen. Oh. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, no. So when you go underground, it switches to the bottom screen of the DS. Cool. Nothing I can do about that. Moving on. Yeah, in hindsight, that makes perfect sense. Like I said, nothing I can do about that.
So nice.
Moving on. Sure, that's a great idea. Let's have both screens up. There you go. Let's just put both screens up on the screen at the same time. There you go. Alright, so, as I was saying.
Here I go.
So this is now 1-2. As you can tell from everything you could see on your screen right now, there's a lot of extremely fascinating, incredible... Oh, this is one of the best power-ups in the whole game. I'm so glad you get to see this power-up right now. Oh, man, this thing is incredible. Oh, Jesus, it's so good. It's so good. All joking aside, this is kind of a brilliant power-up, but it's also kind of hard to control. So, you know, it's got that going for it. What's up, Federation Builder? Like you sound like you want to say something, but I can't imagine what. Okay, for real. It's not even the full screen size. Hang on. Only if they get in the way of gameplay, Compluso. As always, what is the definition of a negative? I mean, I thought about that, Mr. Red. But if you honestly can tell me with a straight face that what you want, and here, let me just demonstrate how terrible of an idea this is. No offense. But either way, I'm not giving that a negative. There's no reason for that to be a negative. If you can actually tell me with a straight face that you think this is a good idea, then we need to have a long, hard chat about everything forever. This is what this would be. This dinky little thing, which is almost the size of my webcam. Just this tiny little thing in the corner. So, who here could tell me what the biggest complaint is almost every critic has about this game, including its own creators? Yura got it immediately. This game is too easy. Ugh, it's just a baby game for babies. See? Just pathetic.
Here I
For
go.
real, though, it is the most common complaint I heard about this game. By the way, did you notice we actually have those 2 coins gained now? So that's just a negative completely avoided there. Yeah, gotta get that suicide in. Very important, very important. But I bring that up because even this very stage we're doing right now is probably easier than Mario 1's 1-2. Because the whole vibe of the game is just chill. The game doesn't really want to pressure you all that much. It's funny because I'm going to have to redo this stage again now. Well, whatever. Yeah, so anyways, this is a terrible idea.
So nice.
Let's get rid of that. I'm sorry. No, Mr. Red, absolutely not, no.
Here I go.
So anyways, ignoring hardware and tech issues. So, look at the construction of this. First power up right at the beginning. Okay, that's not too bad. Listen, Eternus. But you notice how each of these jumps is very, very, very basic jumps. And you notice we've only had one real obstacle so far, which is one Goomba. Oh, hang on, now we've had 2 Goombas. 3 Goombas! Oh, this is getting too much for me. And then the next thing we find is a Mega Mushroom.
Here we go.
The reason I bring all this up is because this is doing a very important job. It's explaining to the viewer, or the player, exactly what type of game this is before they have to actually do anything else, which is, this is exactly what you're in for. Enjoy it. This is a game to just go have fun with. If you're here for a big challenging game, you are not playing the right game. That's not a bad thing. In fact, anybody who says it's a bad thing is wrong. I'm just going to lay that down there like that. But I do like the idea that it's just... It tutorializes the kind of game it's going to be right there in 1-1, exactly as it should. I need to just have a freaking walkthrough up, don't I? Because I just keep missing these. Well, Mario isn't the only one who's 3D, but I'll tell you why he's 3D and several other things aren't. It's because they already had a 3D model for Mario from 64. Like I said, that's his 64-bit... it's 64-bit. That's his model from Super Mario 64 DS. Copy-pasted. Same with Peach, same with Bowser, same with Luigi. There are several others. So, now that I'm not being distracted by the lower screen not working... It's just... God, that just threw my brain for a minute. Let's explain why I've never 100% of this game. Oh yeah, that's a new feature, by the way. Obviously, there's the recovery mechanic. That's not new. I mean, the fact that there is a... the possibility of having a thinger that also does a thing. God, I can't talk today. There's a coin block that also includes a mushroom in it. So, that's arguably something that makes the game easier and contributes to the overall tone. But the idea is that you can gain coins and power-ups on a similar block, which allows them to kind of change around the reward structure of the entire game. So that's cool. Oh yeah, they brought back Ground Pound. In fact, one of the other things they did, and this was critical, is they brought back a lot of the moveset from the 64 games. So this game, it really is a 2.5D, not just in terms of the fact that it's 3D images and 2D images at the same time, but also because they're trying to appeal to both different design philosophies of the 3D Marios and the 2D Marios. 2006, Baron.
It's so nice.
That's another thing. One of the other things this game did, and Lord knows we've already started in on this nostalgia crowd. In fact, arguably, this is the first Mario game that really started in on the nostalgia crowd. Is they literally use sound effects from the original Super Mario Brothers in the creation of this game.
Here I go.
Well, which one do you think it is? 1 through 6. Well, it's all the basic ones. Kind of double or nothing now. Okay, can we like call it? Like we're good. We're good, Toadsworth. Okay. Sure. And we can just skip right to the next castle stage. But again, we're not here to do that.
Here I go.
I'm gonna go ahead and admit that I don't like the soundtrack of the new series. But you know my opinions on jazz. This is the Nintendo DS. I gotta admit, going straight from what is probably the hardest of the of the Mario games to this is a trip, let me tell you.
It's so nice. Here I go.
Yeah, pretty normal at this point in time. Although it's kind of weird. So this game came out after the Advance series. In fact, this was originally an Advance game. The Mario Brothers Advance series on the GBA. So it started development there. And then they switched it over to the DS as part of their new, hey, let's promote the DS kind of a thing they were doing at the time. But what strikes me as weird is if you've been playing the DS games, or you've watched us play the Advance games, and have watched us at all, you'll know that the Advance games allow you to save at any time and the exact level you're on. But this game doesn't, even though this came out after and was intended as a direct sequel to them. That's just confusing to me, honestly. Movement is weird. I think it's the easiest way to explain that. It's a combination of floaty and... How did I miss one? It's a combination of floaty and weird. I'm probably describing it wonderfully. Yeah, all the new games are pretty floaty. You'll see what I mean when we get to the other ones, which are much harder than this one, by the way. Yeah, most of the challenge runs I've seen of this very game usually involve specifically going out of their way to redo a stage, the castle stages, in order to be able to save progress in the challenge they're doing. So, first boss is, of course, Bowser Jr. Who goes down like a chump? I mean, honestly, Peach could probably beat the snot out of Bowser Jr. There's our save. Our only save.
Here I go.
I actually don't know how long this game is. Right, I keep promising that I'm going to explain what I mean by the DS problem. How do you prefer to play handheld games? Like, physically? I guess Mini Mario. Mini Mushroom. Which can, among other things, run on water. You think regular Mario's floaty, you got nothing on this thing. Most of you probably already know where I'm going with this, because most of you probably had this problem to some extent or another. Handhelds are neat and all, but if you're going to sit and actually play a handheld game, you kind of need a physical method by which to play it. So, I don't know about you guys, but the only thing I've ever really had to do that is my computer chair, which isn't exactly what I would call comfortable. Just, you know, sitting here and playing a handheld in my lap. And that's it. That's the only option. So, because of that, there are actually several handheld games I've never really... Okay, fine. So because of that, there are several DS and 3DS games I've never really completed to any level of satisfaction, simply because of the fact that it's just kind of uncomfortable to play them. So I don't. Well, the Switch is different because the Switch unhinges the controllers, which I know I bang on about all the time, but is an absolute sea change. It means I can play the Switch pretty much anywhere under any circumstances and be comfortable doing so. But the only physical way to play a DS is actually, ironically, how I'm playing this game right now, is to sit here and just be doing this. With my hands in my lap and my arms kind of clenched together in order to hold the controller. Yeah, I have no table to rest it on, since I can't use my desk that way. Not without, like, removing my keyboard from the equation, which is its own level of hassle. I missed a thing.
So nice.
Well, I haven't encountered that problem yet, Completionist, but the mouse works for the bottom screen. Yeah, like, I can't... Forgive me for sounding like an old man for a second, but I can't just lay in bed, because, first of all, the option... Yes, I know it. The option is, I can do this, which will get very, very painful and very frustrating very quickly. Or I can try to do this, which will get even worse. Or I can try to, like, lay down on my stomach, but that'll get worse, too. Like, there's no comfortable way, for me, to play this. Now, I'm sure people who actually have, like, furniture in their house can do that. But all I have is my work chair and my bed, and that's it. That's a good question. Is anybody picking up the Mario RPG possibly a remake today? But anyways, that's why the two Mario games I haven't 100%ed are New Super Mario Bros. And New Super Mario Bros. 2, the DS and 3DS games, respectively.
Here I go.
You'll also notice so they took the concept of the safety net mechanisms from Mario World and really ran with them. Like with those, red blocks, which I forget what they're actually called. It's just, hey, these roam around the open world, periodically. Really? Okay. And they almost always can't get picked up by me because I'm too terrible at the game. They almost always have a tier 2 power-up. Every stage is designed around the concept of 2 tiers of power-ups. There's the first tier, which is obvious. That's pretty much always going to be the mushroom. The second tier is unique to the stage. So this is kind of a neat system, actually, because it's modular. It means that what they can do... Oh, god damn it.
Here I go.
It means what they can do is rather than deciding to have... What, Pika? Rather than deciding to have a question block that gives a fire flower, they can just have a question block that gives a tier 2 power-up. And that way they can just design whatever the hell they want to with that later. So in this area, it was the mini shroom, for example. Yeah, there's no... The 3D... New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS is a completely different game, Pika. So I suppose the answer to that question is yes, there is something different about it.
Here I go.
Cardboard Cinema. We are playing that one, Pika? Your questions continue to confuse me, Pika.
What? Oh. What?
You can also... So I actually forgot about this. You can also save when you unlock a route. No, I don't understand your question, Pika. Yes, we are playing the game that we're going to play. We're playing it next to next. We're doing new, and then new Wii, and then new 2, and then new U, in that order. Hey, Dakota. I mean, it's a DS game. This game is new. The new series is not the most well-named series in the universe, I'm not gonna lie. God, the swim controls are really floaty in this one. Well, New U was the most recent one. because then they started using the word Wonder to describe the series instead. Because by all accounts, Wonder is part of the new series, which is why we're reviewing it as part of the new series, so... Come on! I haven't decided yet, Pika. I'm not in any rush, though. So, the blue shell is not something I'm going to pick up here because it's kind of worthless for this stage. The blue shell gives you the properties of a Koopa, who's spinning out of control. So if you get running, you get spinning, you will bounce off of blocks, you'll smash through things, you get it. Pretty basic stuff. It is the preferred method to speedrun this game for extremely obvious reasons, because precise control means you just absolutely race through everything without effort. God, the water controls are so bad. I am probably streaming on Thanksgiving. I don't even remember what day it is, and that's how little I care. Working on the holidays is a long-standing tradition of mine. We will probably be streaming on Christmas and New Year's. I suppose new, Baron, if I had to pick between them.
That's so nice.
Yeah, the wall jump is just very, very useful. What can I say?
Here I go.
I'm trying to think of how to describe the level design so far. Because to call it basic is inaccurate, but it kind of feels like what they're going for is... minimal is a good word. There so far just isn't a lot of anything going on, really. It's neat little gimmicky stuff, but it almost feels more like a WarioWare game than a Mario game. I should probably mention that amongst the communities that I used to frequent, the new series was held in universal disregard, which is a fancy way of saying the word I'm actually trying to think of, which I can't think of. It sucked. They hated it. Scorn. Yeah, there you go. Scorn's a good word.
Here I go.
The most common complaint I would hear about this entire series is that it's just Mario World with a new skin. Or that it's just Mario World 2, and then Mario World 3, and then Mario World 4, and so forth and so on. It is worth noting that most of this game is done with the mentality of a Mario World game. Similar concepts, similar level design approaches, similar safety mechanisms, similar approaches to power-ups, etc. However, if it makes you feel any better, the next game is considered one of the hardest Mario games, and thankfully I've already 100%ed that, so I'm not even going to try.
That's so nice.
I've also never played new Wii solo, so that'll be a new experience for me. So that was World 1. We're already done with it. I very unironically love this song. It's actually one of my favorite Mario songs of all time. No joke. It's a good song. So, sorry. If you stay on the tight ropes for too long, then you fall off. Of course. No, that's Koji Kondo. So this is actually another interesting title in that it's the very last time that Bowser is voiced by sound clips. Oh yeah, he also melts into Dry Bowser here, so that's cool. So hang on, we missed a coin. Just... Yeah, Bowser's dead, by the way. Oh, that's cool. I mean, that makes sense. Bowser Jr. is the villain here, so we gotta make way. Okay. Alright, jotting down some thoughts, don't mind me. No, act. It's right over there. Very uncharged, though. I mean, it's okay. Like, it kind of has the same problem that the 3DS and the DS have, but it feels like a slightly less comfortable Wii U controller, if you know what that feels like. I am very brain dead, apparently, like, more so than I thought. I didn't get to bed till 1, thanks to allergy-related issues. Speaking of which, reminding me. Gotta do drugs on camera. Oh yeah, the drugs. The Wii U controller is hard to explain. Because you need to physically hold the thing to understand. But let me put it to you this way. When the Wii U was announced, I was like, oh, that's stupid. And when I saw the thing for the first time, I was like, that thing's stupid. And then I held it, and I was like, this is a really good controller. It's comfortable, it's precise, and it's, I don't know, it works really, really well. It's hard to explain unless you've actually held the damn thing. But the Wii U controller is one of my favorite controllers for a reason. Obviously, I don't really use that for anything because it's not really feasible. But if we're just looking at all gaming controllers ever, it's probably in the top 5 range. Like, it would be the Joy-Cons, PS3, PS4, and Wii U, probably in that order. And the deck is not as good as that, but it's like that. You want details? I don't really have details to give you. But, yeah. What's really funny is I'm not a big fan of the PS2 or PS1 controllers. But there's some other reasons for that, which I won't go into. Okay, so hang on. Let me change the music here. Get a safety save in. Worth noting, I have not used a PS5 controller yet. So I don't actually know what that feels like. I have no preference on that, Noctis. You know the best sign that this game is designed to be easier than the other ones? So much so that Miyamoto himself complained about it. The timer is huge. I know that sounds like just such a dumb thing, but no, really think about how short the timers are for most of the Mario games that have a timer. That would be new too, Dark Day. We'll talk about that when we get there. It's what happens when you take a gimmick and run with it to the point of insanity. Again, we'll talk about that when we get there. Yeah, the fact that they're straight up just using Super Mario Bros. 1 sound effects was probably not the best idea. Then again, this game is the second best-selling Mario game of all time, so what the hell do I know? I missed it. Where is it?
Here I go.
I personally think Mario games should not have timers, or at least there should be a toggle that says no timers. I mean, I know you like versus questions, Malachor, but I'm afraid that's a bannable offense now. Okay, I'm joking, but for real. I mean, I've said this before. Sales figures are irritating because they don't actually reflect reality. They impact reality. Which I know sounds strange, but it's true. You know, if I produce a really, really crap game that sells very well, it doesn't make that game magically good. What it does is it makes other games worse, because I have made a very, very well-selling game, which other people are now going to want to emulate. That's life, right? Like, several of my friends were weirded out by the fact that the news series kept going despite how crap it is. The reason why is because these games sell extremely well. By the way, the third best-selling Mario game of all time is New Wii. So, World 1 complete. The first is Mario Brothers Original, Super Mario Brothers, but there's a giant asterisk next to that because those sales figures consider everything. Odyssey is like fifth, which I'm going to be honest with you, kind of makes me sad, but whatever. Asking about Odyssey's sales figures is like asking about Final Fantasy IX sales figures. Spoilers, they're not great. Yeah, so Super Mario Bros. 1, they're counting the original release and then all re-releases, of which there have been several, on multiple consoles, plus the bundled copies. Don't mistake me, Super Mario Bros. 1 is a very, very well-selling game, but it probably isn't that well-selling. No, it was you, Malachor. The one on the Wii U that came out during the year of Luigi. That's why you had New Super Luigi, or whatever they called it. New Luigi U, I think is what they called it. Which is actually a really fun mode, believe it or not. Don't worry, it's baked in with the version we're going to be playing. Well, yep, that's death. Yeah, no, exactly, Yura. And you also have to consider, obviously, those are worldwide sales figures. And I bring that up because pretty much every single person in Japan bought Super Mario Brothers. Like, regardless of the international market. It was already a blockbuster seller before it even came out in the States. Luigi is in this game. If you beat the game once, it will tell you a code you can input in order to go ahead and play as Luigi if you want to. Usual rules apply to Luigi. He jumps taller and he's squiggity. Good morning, Control Fail.
Nice.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not, Control Fail, but I do like that personally. I do like that there's still people who want to put out, you know, a really, really good game as opposed to a money-making machine. Hi, Lakitu. Also in 3D, because you were in 64DS. All that. For a drop of coin. See, what I want is a very niche game that nobody in the world would play except for me. I want a Mario Brothers tax simulator. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Handling the Mushroom Kingdom's tax codes. Okay, fine. Wario tax codes. Notice that Lakitu has chilled out a little bit since his iteration in 3 and World, where he's just, like, machine gunning you the entire time. Yeah, he's had a rough life. He can't do it anymore. We can make it about tax evasion. I'm okay with that. That sounds like a game I would refuse to play, Act, but would probably make a good game. Okay.
Here I go.
Oh yeah, so here's Blue Shell Mario. Enjoy it. But we will never use it again. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I'm kidding. Okay, I was kind of kidding.
Here I go.
Oh, I like that idea, Dakota. So Wario's like, yes, I can't pay my taxes because, a Lakitu bombed my house with spinies. I have to feed them all now. I suppose I can just look this up rather than just sitting here dying over and over. No, yeah, that's what I thought. I am quite correct. I need to get the Lakitu.
Here I go.
Oh, no. And, like, he's, like, lobbying to ensure that stolen goods don't count as taxable income. So it's like his main opponent is someone who's like, no, it's still income. Just because you took it from someone else against their will doesn't change the fact that it's income.
Here I go.
And that's the villain of the game, is whoever's insisting on that. Why is it so weird to jump on this guy? Come on. Nope. Okay. No! You know what? Okay. With no other power to go with it, Calablizzo? Absolutely not.
Here I go.
Like, you need sets of powers. Kit, as the term goes. You can't just have one power. It doesn't work that way.
Here I go.
God dang it. Okay, maybe this will work. Hey! Yes. If I had all the other powers necessary to make it actually work, I would absolutely choose to live forever. No question. I got stuff to do, yo.
So nice.
Evil Superman is something I will admit that I find kind of boring. But that's at least partially because of the fact that I've seen it for the better part of the last billion years. You know? Like, Evil Superman is a very, very, very old concept.
In I go.
The point of the gameplay timer is to be like, hey, you gotta hurry. There's a timer. There's a timer. Put another quarter. And that's where the timer comes from. As you might imagine, it is a little bit of an outdated concept at this point. I don't mind the idea of a timer in a level in general, but you gotta do something with the timer, right? And they kind of don't. Remember that question for later, though, because that's actually going to come up when it comes to New You, which arguably does actually do something with the timer in one of its modes. Only one of the modes, though. Just being thorough. Don't want to miss any coins. I've heard good things about Invincible. I've never watched it myself, though, and honestly have no plans to.
So nice.
Yeah, it's a very gory show, by the way. Just like all of the... I forget what they call it. There's actually a term for that genre now. Probably got started by The Watchmen, which is pretty old at this point, but
In I go.
there's an entire subgenre of comic book movies that are juvenile, I think is the word I want to use. They really, really lean on gore and sex in order to be like a subversion of the, I forget what it's called, era of comic books. Because there's a while there where comic books were not allowed to do, like, anything because they were being perceived as being only sold for children and blah, 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 blah. So there were some pretty strict limitations. And yeah, The Boys is a good example of that. The Boys has orgies and really, really graphically horrific stuff. One of the things that happens in The Boys, this is not a joke, is that the Homelander eats a baby on camera. And pretty much from that sentence, you can pretty much get the vibe I'm talking about. They use terms like gritty or dark or whatever, but that's not really what they mean. That's why I use the word juvenile. my knowledge, the show hasn't caught up to the comics yet, which might be why that incident hasn't happened in the show yet. Or maybe it has. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the show. I'm not gonna lie to you. There we go. I mean, the incident in the first episode is probably a good example of shock factor. Still gory, but like nowhere near as just shock for shock value that a lot of the comic book stuff does.
So nice.
You'll also have to forgive me my ire, because a lot of those games, superhero whatever the proper term is for that subgenre, tend to portray themselves as realistic, which is not a word I like to be applied in that manner. Oh, for God's sakes, Big Bertha, go back to Mario 3 where you belong. I do, Zach Taft. After all, I've played Mass Effect 2. Sure. Pretty much, Malachor. What's really funny is, while I am not a big fan of Watchmen, and I'm not, it's still, like, more well thought out than a lot of the imitators are. Like, there's a bit of reason and logic to most of the subversion stuff they do in Watchmen. Listen, nobody needs gravity where we're going, Zen. Oh yeah, Berserk, that's another example. Another thing I don't particularly care for, but again, has been imitated way too much. Sure. Rorschach is certainly an interesting character, I can't deny that. Because, you know, he's Rorschach. Oh, whatever.
So nice.
Yeah, this is why I decided not to do the double screen thing. Because it's the exception, not the rule. If it was a regular thing that every now and again it would just jump down there, I'd probably figure out some kind of other setup. Although, I'll be honest, I don't know what. There's no good way to get two screens on the screen at the same time. Trust me, I've tried many, many different configurations. None of them are what I would consider acceptable. The best way I ever came up with was to get rid of chat and also me, which frees up some real estate. For obvious reasons, those are considered non-starters. what? The piranha plants? Eh. Nothing there. Nothing there. Being sure. Good morning, Savicom. How is your day going? I'm tired. Yeah, the type of insomnia I have always suffered from is it's hard for me to get to sleep and it's hard for me to stay asleep. So, that's my life. Usually I do a little bit better, but last night was just not a great night. Not that I want to sound complainy. Why I was thinking about this literally last night. You know, as much as I would love to have the Enertron. Oh, hey, look at that amazing top screen. As much as I would love to have the Enertron in order to gain back time, you know, 10 seconds for a full night's rest is really nice. But no, the even if an Enertron took 8 hours to give me a full night's rest, I'd probably still use that every single night. I mean, could you imagine? I've been debating that, Yura. The problem is I'm not sure if there are any such things. I'm not actually all that familiar with this game. I've only beaten it once. So in short, if I knew a section was coming, I'd be ready to swap. But I don't. I mean, swapping's easy. I could literally just hit this button right here. Boom! There you go. This is for you, Yura. This is for you! Everyone, I want you to say thank you to Yura for what's happening right now. Actually, no, this is Mr. Red's fault, isn't it? Damn you, Mr. Red! Damn you. Sure. Ah, damn. Okay. Do I know what causes the insomnia? No. The assumption that's usually given is that it has to do with my brain being overly active. Thus, it's hard for me to get to sleep because it's hard for me to get into a state where I am resting. But that's not an official or medical diagnosis. That's just presumption.
In I go.
Interesting. So I've tried melatonin. Obviously, it doesn't do anything for me. My mother uses melatonin, works for her, but it doesn't do it. That's my experience, is melatonin does one of two things. Absolutely nothing, or it helps a lot, and there's no in-between there. But I usually get plenty of sunlight, you know, yard work and the like, so I don't think melatonin really is going to do anything for me anyways. After melatonin, I have tried ZQuil, or more accurately, no, I tried NyQuil for a long time. Obviously, that's not something I particularly want to keep doing. NyQuil does work, it's worth noting. But It's still taking NyQuil every day, which I shouldn't have to explain why that's a terrible idea. I have tried ZQuil to then continue the concept. I pretty much don't like using ZQuil for pretty much the exact same reason.
Here we go!
Obviously, Benadryl will knock me out, but that's something I'm really not doing. Like, I will take a Benadryl if I really, really need to go down for some reason. Which is pretty rare. Like, I haven't done that this year, for perspective. Yeah, usually I just kind of live with it. I've developed a few tricks over the years to try and get myself down. It's just, every now and again, I just cannot get to sleep. I have mind-controlled myself before. In fact, I do that every day. Behold the glory. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that was a real question. If I catch a cold and need to see a doctor for sick leave, do I have to pay for the visit? Yes. Now, my insurance might pay for that. Emphasis on the word might. But either way, that is a paid visit. Hospitals being expensive isn't what I would call a polemic topic. The only people who think that hospitals should be expensive are morons and fools. Oh, and greedy people who want to make money off of it. Depends, Yura. I've never worked at a place that does. I think in most places I've worked don't give out sick days. Period. Yeah, exactly. Hospitals being expensive isn't polemic. It's like saying climate change is polemic. No. Yeah, speaking of which, Bellhammer Industries will absolutely give sick days. Just saying. Now, PTO is a little bit different. PTO is actually pretty common here in the States, but the specifics of how PTO are addressed are way more variable. For those of you who don't even know the acronym, PTO stands for Paid Time Off. Now, the thing is, paid time off is kind of a trickier thing than it sounds, because what some places will do is they'll give you paid time off for... First interesting challenge the whole game, holy crap. Some places will give you paid time off, and that's your sick days, right? Like, that's the time you have for being sick, is you spend paid time off on it. And yeah, to my knowledge, PTO isn't law, it's just practice. Okay, this is a lot easier than I thought it was. Just have to do this. Boop. But yeah, so PTO is its own thing. How you accumulate PTO varies. How you can spend PTO varies. And of course, most importantly of all, how you can lose PTO varies, because most places have this thing where you cannot accumulate PTO past a certain point. And you will just start losing PTO days if you don't spend them. And again, as was mentioned earlier, PTO is not a law, that's just a practice. It's something companies tend to do. Hang on. I'm missing a coin, and I don't want to redo this stage, so give me a second. I might have to redo the stage anyways. Yep, there it is. Okay. Oh, that's another thing. Most places track PTO by the hour, or as opposed to by the day. Now, there's reasons for that, but the general idea is that that way you can spend your PTO on making half days and whatnot, instead of just taking a day off. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to redo this whole stage, because I don't know where to go. Interesting. Timer, ladies and gentlemen. And we're dead.
Here I go.
I truthfully don't know the history of PTOs or where they came from. I confess ignorance. Congrats, Mr. Red. Speaking of which, congrats on getting the 20 minutes done. I didn't say that last night, I meant to. But, as I just hinted at, my last night was kind of horror. Hopefully, once you get past 64 and you get to the point where I actually start to give you timestamps, it'll be a little bit easier. Either way, PTO is yet another example of something that is ostensibly a good thing, but is actually more complicated than it looks, and so a lot of people like to misuse or abuse the situation in order to try and squeeze more work for less money out of employees, excuse me. A fairly common thing.
This is so nice. What? Here I go.
I've never worked at a place that has had paid holiday time, or paid time off. Oh, I'm saying that wrong. I've never worked at a place that has an enshrined rule for holidays. Instead, what generally happens is people just kind of decide to take the time off because it's the holidays. And whoever stays behind is working extra and therefore gets time and a half. Not because it's a holiday, but because of the fact that they're working on top of their existing work week. Does that answer you? Like, the reason I usually worked holidays was, well, first of all, because nobody else wanted to. But second of all, was because that would be above and beyond my 40 that week. So, I would get overtime. Now, I'm sure that varies from job to job, but that's the IT industry. So, Shrig. is. Do you get extra compensation for working holidays? I feel like I just answered that. It's more than 40 hours in that week, so I get time and a half. You know, overtime. Now, if you're salaried, no, you don't get anything at all. Yeah, the idea of getting time off... I mean, obviously I joke because, haha, I work a lot, but no, I've never worked a job where time off was even a concept. Other than PTO.
Here I go.
One of the places I used to work at had this concept where you could store PTO and then just kind of not ever use it. And eventually what would, happen is you would, damn, this fire thing. He didn't, okay. So they would just sit on their PTO, and eventually they would just get a check at the end of the year. Here's the money that would have been your PTO time. And then, of course, their PTO gets wiped, and New Year starts. Oh, for God's sakes, that's it? That's all I had to do this whole time? Although I apparently can't make that jump. Ugh. Friggin' fire thing. I'm gonna laugh if it's the second one and not the first. It is the second one. Of course it frickin' is. Oh, you know what? Let's at least lock that in. Of course there's a boomerang brother here. Why wouldn't there be?
So nice.
Yeah, tradable PTO is something some companies allow and some companies don't.
Here I go.
I want them to work in a working environment like within the Empire, Sabacom. You think you can make that happen? If that's not available, better than what I have worked in. I'll take that too.
Here I go.
You know, I've never thought about it, Act. Like, logically speaking, there's nothing that would prevent unions from forming up. But at the same time, unions form up as a matter of necessity. I'm not sure that necessity would exist. How am I supposed to do that? No, I think I will continue to not think about it, because I don't think it's going to matter. To be very, very, very blunt. I mean, does Starfleet have unions? We continue the parallel. I don't like this stage, by the way. At all. I mean, the Ferengi could probably use some friggin' unions. How? What am I supposed to do about this? Yeah, let's just... I've got the guide over here. I'll just look this up. Yeah, use the brick hopper. How? Come here. Like, they're not hopping. Go over here, please. Way too delayed on that. Nope. Could you come a little bit more to the right, please? Sure. Whatever. I don't even care. I don't even care. Also, I don't know the incident you're referencing. What worker strike? You've got to be kidding me. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, I need you to kill me so I can go back, please. Kill me. Please kill me. Please kill me. Thank you. Hello, Dream Whisperer. God, it's so hard to commit suicide.
In I go.
Yeah, this level is not great, honestly. Like, these guys are clearly supposed to be the gimmick of the level, and most of the gimmicks of the level have been neat, but these guys are just irritating. They jump at random intervals, they move at random intervals, and you're supposed to, like, control them, but I don't know how, or maybe it's just supposed to be up to RNG, in which case it's just irritating. No, to the left. Here. No, left. What? There. Good God. Ugh. Okay. What's on with this? Jesus. Yeah, like, there probably should be some control over them, but there just isn't. I don't know, whatever.
So nice.
So Tesla refused to sign a union deal with the unit processing in Sweden that's ballooned into widespread strike across industries. Cool. Strike it up. Death to corporations. Stab.
In I go.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting to happen. Now, yep, that's cool. This is my life now. This is an interesting game to play while tired, I'm not gonna lie. Hard to analyze because there's so little meat on the bones to analyze. Like, by this point in Yoshi's Island, we had already given out like half a dozen positives to levels. So far I've given out one. I mean, this is functionally an alpha build. This is, in many ways, the prototype for the new series. Now, I don't want to talk up We, the next one while playing, but I can tell you with definitiveness, the next game we're playing, You, really started running with some of these concepts. Nah. 3D Land was pretty legit, although that is after this, so...
In I go.
Not that I can tell, Just Rob. Yeah, if I do, none of the buttons are making it happen. I like to think of Mario's just staring the piranha plant down like, what? What do you got coming? Go away. Remind me as I just completely remove this gimmick from this stage by virtue of fire. Well, shoot. Now I have to live with the gimmick of the stage. Damn it. Yeah, I was a little surprised by that, but not really. You know what this game reminds me of? Kirby games. Now, to explain that a little bit, to unpack that a little bit, Kirby games are usually not hard, pretty much by design. They are designed to be a lower tier of intensity when it comes to platforming and stage design. But that's because Kirby games are usually designed around the concept of the power-ups, the different abilities you can get. Most of the stages are there to be a vehicle for you to enjoy whatever power-ups you can get in that given stage. And by power-ups, I mean, you know, the enemy abilities. And the further into the Kirby series you get, the more this becomes a thing. But this is true even back in the NES one, which is the first one to actually have that concept. And yeah, the soundtrack just... I'm not a music analyzer, so I can't quite put my finger on it, other than this song, which is just fire. But no, most of the music is just kind of... lounge music? Elevator. It's elevator music. And while there is, of course, a style to elevator music, it's mostly there to be something so you hear, you know, something other than nothing, right? Yeah, Muzak, exactly. There are some bangers in this, like the one we're listening to right now, but most of the songs are just do 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 do. Like, I would not be surprised if right now in chat some of you cannot think of the theme we were just listening to in the stage prior to this right now, because it's just that forgettable. Yeah, yeah, it's Voyager music. Oh, by the way, I should mention for the purposes of 100%ing, I'm just counting getting all coins and doing all stages. Thanks, Dozeworth. Yeah, the fact that there's the save spotting is so inconsistent is just a weird choice. I don't even know where that's coming from.
In I go.
I mean, yeah, you should be able to save pretty much on the overworld, to be blunt. What, like go back to 1-1? Not that I'm aware of, you know. Well, what's really strange here, Control Alt Fail, is this is designed originally to be Super Mario Advance 5. Which is significant because Super Mario Advance 4 allowed for saving per stage, and it would actually save your status on a stage level. Like, per stage. So, clearly someone at some point saw that and was like, aha! I don't know if it's the same dev team. Might not have been. Fun fact, doing a ground pound actually does double damage on bosses in this game.
In I go.
Well, we know that this is by EAD, but EAD is 10 separate development teams, so who knows? God damn it. No, 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 no. Go away. Go away. It is, in fact, a mini shroom, yes. Take two. I believe you have 1 health with the mini shroom. In exchange for the extra floatiness and all the other... the walk on waterness. Oh, crap. Okay, so I'm going to put up the cheat flag, because I really don't care for this one. And just kind of get on with that, if that's okay with you guys. Timing there is just weird. Oh, okay.
So nice.
So, you're probably wondering why I bothered to try and do that while the mini. That's how you access World 4. So now that we've managed that, let's go beat the boss regular-like.
In I go.
So we can access World 3. Bit of a strange design choice, not gonna lie. I would have thought that after, you know, managing to do that at all, you just unlock both, right? Like if you... Does that make sense? You do the hard mode, you just unlock both.
In I go.
But yeah, I'm thinking so far that I might give the worst insult I possibly can to a Mario game. I don't think I'm going to give World 2 any level positives. I suppose the joke here is, no wonder I never 100%ed this game, but no, that's not why. I already told you why. World 2. The world we just completed, Blade 12. Yeah, it would, Nefester. That would make World 2 a net -1 to gameplay. That's sort of sad for a Mario game. Yeah, so this is the, no, we're done screwing around moment.
So nice. Huh?
Naturally, World 3 is the ocean world, because Mario 3.
What?
4 is the jungle, though. Poison jungle, of course. You know, considering Peach can beat up Bowser, that's not a joke, by the way. Yeah, I have no idea how Junior is kidnapping Peach. Like, if I was to try and smother some headcanon over this, it'd be like, yeah, no, it's like a confidence building exercise. She's trying to build up Junior's, you know, belief in himself by allowing him to kidnap her. It's like, yep, no, you caught me, Junior. You're just, oh, you're doing awesome. All bugs must die. Could you carry me a little more comfortably, please? Actually, no. What's actually happening? She's not being carried at all. She's flying next to him. Oh yeah, by the way, the purple is lava. It's instant death.
Here I go.
Yeah, I believe this is the second showcasing of Plessy after 64. This may sound like a strange comment, considering I've given music positives to Mario games with less music in it than this one. But I think the problem, too, is there's actually like 3 or 4 main themes that are so indistinguishable from each other. Unless I played them side by side, you probably couldn't even tell they were different songs.
Here I go.
Yeah, that's another thing. I admittedly never really liked the... I don't know what to call it. The chorus concept? Like, you know, the ha ha, you know, that's part of the music, but also the characters will like move and dance in time to the music. Like that Koopa just did it there a little bit. In future games, they'll do it even more. Like the characters are dancing to the song, and that just doesn't work for me for some reason. I don't really have a good reason why, other than the 10-foot stick up my ass, obviously. Actually, yeah, Yoshi's Crafted World, another game I really didn't like the way they approached the music. Yeah, no, personal preference is a thing, but don't expect me to give it any positives. You know? Maybe in some of the future ones, because it's kind of a threadbare thing here. Like, I honestly didn't even realize they were doing the little dance to the music thing until I paid more careful attention to it. In future games, they have like a whole little bouncy thing they do. Like, there's a dance... I don't want to call it a dance number, but, you know, there's clearly more of an acknowledgement that the music's playing. Oh, bull crap! Well, I guess we find out what happens when we continue a game over. Yeah, that tracks. Oh, God. Okay. Sure.
Here I go.
Hold on. Let me look something up really quick, just because I'm curious. I already did, Mr. Red. Okay. What, the visuals, Yura? I could see that. The brickwork hasn't really been impressing me so far, but it's not like it's been bad. Like, I'm not blown away is probably the way to phrase that. Especially not after Yoshi's Island. It's a hell of a gap, right? Go from Yoshi's Island straight to this blurry mess.
Here I go.
So how many of you read that the Warner Brothers executive has actually been open about something that Hollywood has been doing for years? Just within the last week.
Here I go.
Because of the various tax benefits and tax write-offs they can do for not releasing, for making a movie and then not releasing it, they can actually make more money by making movies and then not releasing them than they can by actually releasing films in several cases. And if I ever needed a poster child for what I mean when I speak negatively about playing it safe in creative fields, that's what I mean, because that is playing it safe. They might make more money releasing the film, but they will almost assuredly make more money not releasing the film. Now, as usual, that's actually the tax code's problem more than anything. That's where that problem comes from. But it certainly says a lot about the industry. It's the same reason why Bathos has been taking over the filmmaking industry for the better part of the last 15 years now. Like, have you ever heard someone complain about how much Marvel humor there is in films? It's not really what they're going for. As weird as that probably sounds.
Here I go.
It is legalized crime in several ways. In fact, fun fact, if you do that kind of a thing in several other industries, it is a criminal offense. It's called tax fraud. In fact, metaphorically speaking, it's the same as if you burn down a building to get the insurance money from it.
Here I go.
That's actually what's being done there. Rather than using the building for its intended purposes, you destroy the building and then get the tax write-off. Then you buy another building and you destroy that building and get a tax write-off. That's what they're doing. I think you're right, Euro. Just not even go for power up this time. Yeah, we'll see what happens as a result of this. How does Marvel humor happen? Oh, sorry, I did kind of drift into that a little bit. I apologize. So, Marvel humor is a form of bathos. Bathos. So, bathos is when you subvert an expected build-up with something else. Usually something comedic to kind of, you know, change the tone of the moment. Like, oh my god, it's this big, amazing thing that shouldn't happen. We came over it again. Oh my god. Okay. This is a thing that's happening. So in, you know, name a really good dramatic film. Not a comedy, just a dramatic film. Preferably one I actually know, so I can make an example of it. The Godfather. You know, I was actually picturing The Godfather in my head. Okay, I can't believe neither of those hit me, considering their hurt boxes have been absolutely bonkers this whole time. So imagine that you've got... We'll take a scene right from the beginning, so it's not really spoilerific. So there's a scene where he talks about what kind of a person his father employs. And it's the big scene where he talks about, you know, making you a deal that you can't refuse. Either your brains or your ink is going to touch this check. That scene? Now imagine instead of that being played completely straight and being a terrifying example of exactly how the Mafia operates, and how not blasé the main character is about the whole thing. Instead imagine that he's like, he said two things. One of two things is going to happen. Either your jelly donut or your ink is going to touch this. And then he refused, and then he actually had to, like, just pull out the donut. I'm doing a terrible... This is a terrible example. That's not actually bathos. That's just dumb writing. Hang on, let me think about that for a second. How do I make bathos out of that stupid scene? Okay. So this is actually bathos. I had to force my brain to engage there for a second. So floaty. Alright, so. The idea is, he's got that scene, and he tells that story to his future wife. And she's like, oh my god, that's horrible. That's what your father's like? And then he says, no, I'm just messing with you. I can't believe your face. Holy crap, you should have seen your expression. And she's like, oh. And the whole thing is kind of played off for laughs. And it's played as like a neat little character moment. That's bathos. That is actual bathos, not, me screwing up my analogy bathos. If that sounds familiar, then you've seen any Marvel film that's come out in the last several years.
Here I go.
Because they started doing that as part of the overall shtick and style of several of the earlier writers. Thing is, about 5 or 6 years ago, no, it'd be longer than that at this moment. It's close to 7 years ago now. God, it's been a while. Several years ago, several executives in Hollywood, not Marvel, just executives in general, came to an interesting realization. If you do a serious scene and it doesn't land, then it's bad. If you do a non-serious scene and it doesn't land, nobody cares. That's honestly it. Like, that's the whole explanation right there for why bathos has been slowly drifting into Hollywood. Now, I should mention that that's a theory of mine, but it's a theory that completely fits the facts, if I might be so bold. The idea is exactly. If you never try for serious or sincere moments, you can't fail. There's no failed payoff because there's no payoff, period. And so people just enjoy the popcorn film, get a few laughs, and then they're done, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that if used precisely or used in a few specific cases. But, like, think about how many recent films, not just Marvel films, but films in general, have leaned on that concept so hard that that's the entire film in some cases. I'm sure most of you in chat could think of an example of that right now. It's one of the reasons several people were surprised by the recent Dune film. No, seriously, I've seen several people who were surprised by how much it didn't decide to lean into that concept, even though there were several moments where it could have. And some people were actually waiting for the moment when someone would come in and just be like, ah. Bathos can work, don't mistake me. It's a narrative trope for a friggin' reason. Greek. It's been around for a while. As most tropes have been. But... Jesus, this level.
Here I go.
See, now I'm trying to think of an example of bathos that I think really worked. Like, where they actually nailed it. Other than Spaceballs, because of course Spaceballs did a particular type of humor correctly. It's Spaceballs. Seriously, if I ever actually teach a humor class, I'm just going to put up that film, and then everyone's going to be like, oh, this is a great film, and then I'm like, alright, tell me everything you just learned. And they'll be like, what? Because nobody was paying attention. And then they'll all get Fs, and then I'll be fired from the community. It'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of serious. Spaceballs is a textbook example of many different types of humor. It is a surprisingly well-constructed film. Getting off topic. I do agree that several of the earlier MCU stuff used bathos better. I mean, it's worth noting that a lot of the earlier MCU films had no problem actually throwing in real, legitimately dramatic moments, too. Which is important. I mean, yeah, not a bad example, or not. Ultimately, bathos is about subverting expectations. And I know that became a bad word after Last Jedi, but there's nothing wrong with occasionally subverting expectations. The first Thor movie? other than the fact that Thor, like, has a complete character arc in, like, a weekend, I would agree with you. That's mostly a problem of the timing of the film, though, not the film itself. Actually, yeah, you know what? That's a really good example. The Loki and Black Widow interrogation scene in Avengers 1 is classic Bathos, and in my opinion, an example of Bathos done correctly. Obviously, that's opinion, but you get it. But then you get to use a random example, Thor 3. Now, before you jump down my throat, I enjoyed Thor 3 for what it was. But I've also never really felt the desire to re-watch Thor 3. I have, in fact, watched it twice, but only for the show. For my job, you know. I had everything. Okay, whatever. Yeah, Thor 3 is the comedy one. Thor 3 is the film that was completely ruined by the marketing of the film. And I do mean completely ruined. I actively think that is a worse film because of the marketing. Not something I say very often. Thor 2, we're not going to talk about. Thor 4, I have no plans of ever seeing. So, the only way I could explain how the marketing ruined it is by ruining the film. On the off chance that you have not seen Thor 3, this is a spoiler warning for Thor 3. I'm being serious. It's actually kind of a big moment. I'll give you a few seconds to go ahead and mute me on the off chance you haven't seen it. 3, 2, 1. The Hulk is in Thor 3. Now, I know what you're thinking. And? But no, really. Put yourself back in the mindset of watching the film again. And think about the reveal moment. Think about the fact that the Hulk isn't even mentioned the entire film. Not once. And then all of a sudden, and during a fairly large... This is also an example of Bathos, by the way. During a fairly large dramatic scene, which is being played completely straight, where Loki has just failed to help his brother, even though he's trying to, where Thor is kind of lost in an unknown world without his powers and without his hammer, and they're on the back foot, right? And he has to go fight the super mega death champion of the people, and then the Hulk busts out, and Thor is just jubilant at seeing him. It would be a great scene if not for the fact that it was in the goddamn trailer, completely ruining it. Remember, almost half the film is building to this moment. It's the classic arc of, we're up high, we get smashed down by the villain, we try to build up a little bit more, and then we get smashed down as we're failing again. It's supposed to be the turnaround at the darkest moment. It's comedic, but it's the same as watching freaking Gandalf and the Rohirrim come down the hill. It's that kind of a concept. Because from that moment on, they start to make things work and start to pull themselves out of the pit they've been in. And it's completely ruined by the fact that everybody knew the Hulk was in it. Even in just the... never watched the trailers. Even in just the thing where people were talking about it in like interviews. They're like, oh yeah, we're totally basing Thor 3 off of World War Hulk. And people are like...
Here I go.
Yeah, you never would have seen that coming. And it was honestly very well built up and completely ruined by that. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off topic. There is a reason I've sort of walked away from trailers. That's one of the reasons, I should clarify. There's actually another reason, too. The other reason... Green pipe. The other reason is, so... I myself have said there's nothing wrong with being formulaic. But I'm so sick of the trailer format. I'm so sick of the trailer formula. I'm sick to death of it. I hate it, and I hate every single goddamn trailer I see. I'm sorry. It's just, it grates on me. And every time I see another trailer, which, yet again, follows the exact same format that every other trailer always uses, it just makes me want to tear my hair out. I'm so sick of every single trailer being copy-pasted from each other. Actually, there's three. There's three formats to trailers, but they're all the goddamn same. Like, I actually feel like I don't have a vibe or a feel on a movie anymore because of trailers. And yeah, trailer music has gotten worse. There's a movie coming out called Fall Guy, no relation to the game you're probably thinking of right now. It's about a... No. That's where they... Okay, and then green pipe, I think. Green pipe. Second green pipe, maybe. Get hit, doesn't matter. As long as it goes in the green pipe. Okay, there we go. Look at that amazing visuals. Look at them. Behold the amazing visuals. I gotta do this, don't I? Okay, that's cool. Hang on. There we go. So, first of all, thank you, Kira White Noise, for your support. Always appreciate. Fall Guy, or whatever the hell it's called. It's about a stuntman who is turned into a superhero, or an action hero. Like, he actually has to go and save the day against the evil terrorists, okay? I'm sorry, I sound bored. I shouldn't, because the premise sounds interesting, and it's got some decent, you know, it's got some decent actors involved. Who knows, right? For Aspera, Neo, and Riftbreaker. Thank you, Caroline Noise. But the trailer is so bad. And it's portrayed like every other trailer in the universe. There's a scene in the trailer, this is not a joke, where I feel like the people making the trailer accidentally copy-pasted the wrong template over it. Because they have the typical action, da-da-da-da, statement. Da-da-da-da-da, statement. Statement. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Like that formula. You probably know exactly what I'm describing, even though I'm doing a terrible job of audibly indicating the musical cues. And they're doing that, except they're doing that over a scene of him just being in the car chatting with his director, who may or may not be his girlfriend. It's so bad. And yeah, so that's the problem. I've complained about this for so long, I'm tired of complaining about it. Trailers are made by trailer-making people, and they suck at their job. They are so copy-pasted of each other and so templated that I can usually predict the exact type of trailer it's going to be within about a second of it going live. Like, within the first second, it's like, oh, okay, this is going to be one of those ones. So, now hang on. Someone, I think it was Lord Harrimont, asked me a question. What was the last trailer I actually liked? It's a really good question, because it's been a very, very long, hard several years of terrible trailers. So let me think about that for a minute. Because the problem isn't trailers at all, Eternus. The problem is that the trailers suck. That's the problem. If the trailers didn't suck, we wouldn't have any issues.
Here I go.
Hi, Yada. But let me think about older trailers. In a world... No, I'm joking. I mean, I would unironically celebrate the death of Hollywood. I don't even feel bad at admitting that on non-polemic day. I think that entire industry needs to go burn in a goddamn fire. It is a manipulative, exploitative industry that actively worsens creative life and does many things to destroy the livelihoods of many people every single day of the year. Screw Hollywood. See, my first thought was actually the Matrix trailer.
Here I go.
But that trailer was in the 90s. I mean, maybe I have to go that far back? I don't know. Huthor mentioned the Force Awakens trailer, which I will admit I don't remember. Actually, you know what? Unironically, Episode 1's trailer. You remember that one? It was actually pretty simple. And it made it very clear what it was about. Like, there was no attempt to try to mislead or expose or anything like that. No real spoilers to speak of. Didn't overstay its welcome. Used custom music, custom crafted for the trailer. Like, it was a designed trailer. And frankly, it got me hyped for the film, so that worked. Maybe that's my fault for being a dumb teenager, but still. Too greedy.
Here I go.
Which one was the first teaser for episode 7? God, those subs are still coming through. So, the Pixar approach to trailers is an interesting one. I will admit freely I prefer it over what other trailers do. But the problem is, it's literally cheating. See, here's the deal. What Pixar films do is they just take a particularly good scene from the film, usually one of the first scenes actually done in the film, and then they just show the scene shot for shot, and that's your trailer. Now, the reason that works is because it's literally a scene from the film. The downside is it's literally a scene from the film. Familiar to anybody who remembers the trailer for The Dark Knight, the Nolan Joker film. One second. Are these still going through? Like, I have to admit, I would rather, trailers were their own thing, their own art form that people put together for the purposes of selling the film. Only Eternus. Jesus Christ, man. But, yeah, no, it's a workable thing to just take a part of the movie and say, here. People complain about it, but I do think it does a better job than, the garbage trailer industry we have right now. Thank you very, very, very much, Eternus. I do always appreciate. Thank you. Two things. First, what do you want to put those towards? Second, I like subs as much as the next person, and I like subs being gifted as much as the next person. So that's totally fine, and it's your choice, and blah, blah, blah. I just want you to be aware of the fact that I get 50% of those subs, as opposed to direct donations in which I get 98% of those donations. Just something to think about. So what would you like to put that towards? Coming soon to Disney Home Video. A whole new world. And just goes right into the song. I remember that. I do remember that teaser, Huthor. And that was a good teaser. I can actually name several good teasers over the years. In fact, I have done so recently. You remember the teaser? So I was complaining during BlizzCon about how terrible some of their teasers were. How many of you saw the teaser for Avengers 2, Age of Ultron? Now, let's ignore how good or bad the film was. Let's just leave that at the door. The teaser was perfect. It was a really close shot up of Iron Man's suit, his helmet specifically. And it kept getting crushed like someone was beating the crap out of it. And you saw individual quotes that were handpicked specifically from... No, this is before the Pinocchio song. Specific quotes handpicked from Avengers 1. each one of them indicating, we have an obligation to do better. We have to save the people from the things they can't save themselves from. We're the real monsters here, yada yada yada. And as the music kind of pitches, the camera pans out a little bit, and the Iron Man helmet has been shaped into Ultron's helmet, and then you just hear screaming, and that's it. That was the teaser, and that's I still to this day consider that probably the perfect teaser. Oxygen not included, Armored Core 6, and FF16. Thank you again, Eternus. Anyways, I'm not trying to be greedy. It occurred to me I might as well let you know that I get 25. No, that was 20. So I get $50 right there. So that's what I write down. But if you did a direct donation, then that would be $100. Just something worth keeping in mind. So anyways, we've already thrown up the cheat flag, and I don't feel like gaming over here, so... Jesus Christ, come on. I disagree with everything that happened there. Good God. The Pinocchio trailer was certainly a good one. What in the crap? Okay. I think I actually know what's happening. Yeah. Right. I actually forgot about this. He's actually immune to being stepped on at this point, because the idea is that he's learning each time he fights you. So in Thor 3, Thor exists. Maybe. See, she's just flying. She's just flying. It was his Thori sled. Yeah, that's why I wanted to save state there, because that was the save. And if I died game over there, which I was about to, I would have gone all the way back to World 3, because all this progress would have been lost.
Here I go.
Good morning, Blue Fire Dragon blogs. Oh, here we go. This is going to be great. I can't wait for this. It's, honestly not that great. For being the second highest selling and probably the highest selling Mario game of all time, and one of the highest selling video games of all time. I am not impressed. Although, isn't that just the way? I believe I've talked about this before, today even. But how often does sales figures reflect reality, right? Yep, so there's that game over. I'm just going to eat that. Because we just solved. Yeah, the best-selling movie of all time is still frickin' Avatar.
Here I go.
I wouldn't even put it in the top 100 films of all time. Maybe the top 1,000. Maybe. No offense to anybody who likes it, but I mean... You know? Then again, most of the best-selling games of all time are all, mobile games. Because they're mobile games. Huh.
Here I go.
Something I've heard from people who have 80s music nostalgia, and I phrase it that way because I do not, is that the difference between Thor 4 and you know, Guardians of the Galaxy is Guardians of the Galaxy thinks about where it applies as nostalgia, and Thor 4 did not. It just was like, here's an 80s song. I don't know if that's true. I am just repeating what I have heard. Alright, so let me summarize Avatar for you, Brig, okay? Okay, so there's these big, evil American corporate military guys who are trying to attack the peaceful, innocent, completely complacent native people for their resources. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Yeah, no, exactly, Luthor. Quill's mixtape was kind of a thing for him. Also, and this is one of those spoilers without context, Kevin Bacon. Nope, Yura, that's it. That's the spoiler. Kevin Bacon. Oh, it's 4-5, not 4-4. No wonder, I'm stupid.
Here I go.
Not really, Eternus. I don't think the... First of all, I don't think there's any interest in reviewing the Uncharted games because they're not already on the list. And second of all, reviewing the Uncharted games would be interesting. It would probably be as close to reviewing a movie as I've come thus far. Not that I'm trying to bash them, quite the contrary. It's just that's probably what that would actually vibe as. Now, if you want to do that, it's your business and your money. Oh, God. Okay, that's cool. In what universe is Taika Waititi blah, 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 a bad filmmaker? I don't agree with him on several things. That does not make the man a bad filmmaker. I mean, that's like calling... What's his damn name? Evil McEvilson a bad filmmaker. What's an anti-Western, Yura? I'm gonna laugh if anybody remembers who Evil McEvilson is without me even actually explaining.
Here I go.
Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick. Just because Stanley Kubrick is a horrible person doesn't make him a bad filmmaker, you know? And just because I don't like him also doesn't make him a bad filmmaker.
So nice. Here I go.
A minor tidbit, we actually don't have a mini-map for this stage, because boos have taken over it. That's neat. Oh, yeah, that's another filmmaker I would never call a bad filmmaker, even though I can't stand his work. Django Unchained, Hateful Eight, Pulp Fiction. Yeah, Tarantino, thank you. Quentin Tarantino. Kill Bill. Okay. Welcome to the first and indeed only usage ever of the balloon bow. Balloon. Oh my god, it's a balloon. That's brilliant. Hey, Frisco. I mean, we just started the new series, so who knows how the new series is going to line up. Yeah, that's what I thought. Can I go back? No, we're stuck. We'll go ahead and lock that in, I guess.
So nice.
Didn't we already pass the 80s? Like, we're into the 90s now? Like, nostalgia's on a cycle. It's always a couple of decades ago. It's either 2 or 3 decades ago. I can never remember. I guess 3 decades ago. So we already did the 80s. Now we're doing the 90s. Give it a few more years, we'll start doing nostalgia stuff about the aughts.
Here I go.
So I'm looking for something. Where are the... Thank you, Eternus. I'm glad you liked it.
Here I go.
I mean, I know a lot of people have nostalgia for the aughts in the late 90s. I am not one of them, but I know a lot of people who do.
Here I go. Here I go.
I mean, I suppose film is not what I was thinking of. I was thinking of early aughts games. I don't have a lot of nostalgia for the games of that era. Not gonna lie. Quintessential 90s aesthetic. Tude and probably spikes, gross, and like over-the-top violence. Like the extreme thing. That was the 90s. If you ever want a textbook example of 90s, think about Spider-Man to Venom, and then think about Venom to Carnage. That's the 90s. TMNT. That was definitely on the Tude side of things. Oh, that works. Totally tubular, man. But yeah, the TMNT cartoon was actually more 80s than 90s. Now, Animaniacs and Batman the Animated Series, that was 90s. You graduated 1 year after this game came out. Sure, a review of each year. What you're seeing on the screen right now is my review of every year.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Savacom. It's okay. Click the wrong thing.
Here I go.
I mean, in my mind, the early 90s blur a lot with the 80s for pretty obvious reasons. Yeah, the SNES came out. And... yeah, life sucked because I was in school, and school back then sucked. Definitely is better nowadays. That's the benefit there. School is the greatest thing ever. I kind of joke. It obviously depends on per county, even back then. Especially now. Some schools are actually perfectly fine. Then and now. Right. Sure. God damn it.
Here I go.
Does it have to do with children being in any way treated badly, Huthor? Because if so, the answer is no. I will actually ask you to keep that to yourself.
Here I go.
Of course. See you around, Jay. So that's the power and the curse of the blue shell in one succinct sentence.
Here I go.
That really is the blue shell in a nutshell. That's why I don't actually like it that much as an ability. Sure, Huthor. Hit me. So, okay. So I'm going to reload a save because we just lost progress. Now, the really funny part is the specific reason I was doing that stage was to get more lives so we don't lose any more progress. So... oh, we'll try this.
Here I go.
it like a memorabilia thing for a scope? Is that deliberate?
In I go.
Okay, this is the spot.
Yo, yo.
Yeah, don't even get me started on the Chewbacca defense. Nobody wants to hear me talk about that. Well, yeah, haven't you ever played a video game where you could customize your equipment, Hira? And have cosmetic equipment, you know? Same concept, same vibe. What, Uthor? Look, I don't feel like dying again, what can I say? What I love about this is so much more arduous than every other one-up grind in like every other Mario game ever. Every other Mario game, it's either super fast or super intense, or like it happens very, very quickly. Like, you remember when we did that in Mario 3? Took maybe a minute and a half to get a couple hundred lives. That's true. Only cool people can customize their cars. And by cool people, we of course mean rich people. We haven't really covered a lot of DS games. There's Super Mario Brothers, so there's Super Mario 64 DS. There's this game. And there's Mega Man Zero ZX and Mega Man ZX2. I think that's it. Like, I think those are the only ones we've actually covered. Someday we'll cover FF4 DS. This is my life. In real life. This is actually my real life now. There's no future, there's no happiness, there's no joy. There's just keep jumping over the turtle shell. If you don't, you die. That's true, we'll eventually cover Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Is that it? I actually have a bunch of DS games, but for the life I can't... Oh, I guess we'll cover Gen 4 one of these days. In Pokemon. So there's something else. It's 2 more games. Or 3, excuse me. Correct. Link Between Worlds was 3DS. Yeah, one more.
So nice.
No plans to Blue Dragon EXE. Although I think there is a Yoshi block, but it's nowhere near funded. The DS Yoshi game is Yoshi's Island DS. It is a sequel to Yoshi's Island. Unlike Yoshi's Island 3DS, which I believe is called New Yoshi's Island, which is actually a prequel to that and a sequel to the original. It's weird.
Here I go.
Yeah, my phone calls me Laura all the time. So. Relatable.
Here I go.
I mean, I'll take Laura over Shirley. So make of that what you will. Oh no, my wife is Loretta. I'm Laura, obviously. Yes, Hero. Anybody who names their child Bob is just not even a human being. It's how they identify each other amongst the wild. I mean, Robert's a little different, but I have known people whose names actually are Bob. Not Robert. Not Bob Tholomew. Bob. I mean, why do we even want Tatooine's act out? I mean, it could be worse. Can you imagine your parents calling you Lore when you're born?
So nice.
Now, obviously, I'm making a joke about myself, but no. Think about it from the perspective of Star Trek. Because they actually did call him Lore. For some reason.
Here I go.
I don't know about that, Sabacom. It depends on who's playing Data. Our Data. Speaking of random, just Star Trek related topics. Going back through... yes, Mo Washington. Because I don't feel like having a headache today. Sorry. Going back through TNG with a friend of mine, like I've been lore running Star Trek for a friend. it really is wild how bad Brent Spiner was at playing Data early on. I know you can say that about a lot of them, but it's just strange. It took him until about mid-season 2 to really figure out how to play the frickin' character. In fact, I can pretty much point to the exact episode when he finally started acting like what we considered Data. Measure of a Man, by the way. Thwomps. I can't remember the episode. It's in season 1. It's when he talks about including the kiddlies. If that doesn't give it away, I don't know. Let's go ahead and die here. You remember that episode? The reason I bring up that episode is because if I ever have to point to a specific scene to explain why Brent Spiner didn't know how to play Data back in season 1, which, to be fair, is also on, the directors. Not just, him. It would be that scene. The way his usage of his words and the way he intones them sounds like he was trying to remember his lines more than anything else.
Here I go.
I do not know. What? No.
What?
There you go.
What? Here I go.
Then again, early Data, and honestly even mid-Data, has this really strange thing where they act like he's brand new to, humanity. Even though he's been in Starfleet for 20 years. I will never stop making fun of that.
Here I go.
I liked Spiner in Enterprise, for whatever that's worth. That's a good question, Yura. I'm not sure. Yeah, which burger, Blade Which burger? That changes the equation a bit. If it's Wendy's, go for it. If it's Burger King, it depends on the Burger King. If it's McDonald's, get Subway. I mean, that tracks, doesn't it, Ross? Because you're right, he really is good at playing the songs. Consistently. Alright. No Subway, just for you, Samaka. I am familiar with Whataburger. I kinda hate it? Wait, no, hang on, I think I'm thinking of the wrong thing. I can't remember the freaking name of it now. I have not, Completionist. I didn't know this game had co-op at all, by the way. Not that I have any way of even testing that. What's really strange is everything I researched about this game indicated that it doesn't have co-op, and that all of the attempts they made in order to add co-op to this game were all shelved and then eventually put into the sequel, the Wii one.
Here I go.
Who was the main character of The Happening? The actor, not the character. It's Mark Wahlberg, isn't it? This game does have minigames, yes. Okay, so I think Wahlburger, or whatever the hell that's called, is what I'm thinking of, and that was crap. That was, like, terrible, terrible overpriced burgers. Not good at all.
Here I go.
Unless Wahlburger is Whataburger, in which case, ignore me. I've only ever seen one Wahlburger, but they sell it in grocery stores. So, enough said, really. Do not recommend. Like, cannot anti-recommend enough. I'm not sure I've been to a Whataburger, having said that. I've heard the phrase before. No, no Whataburgers in delivery range. Not that that's a surprise. See, I would say I like In-N-Out Burger, but the last time I had it was in 1996. So, I can definitively say that In-N-Out was really good in 1996. It was. I stand by that. It's a Goomba. Oh my god!
So nice.
Yeah, you do a lettuce wrap instead of the bun, Frisco Born. It's good stuff. I recommend it. Changes the texture of the burger substantially because it's like crisp as you're coming in instead of soft, you know? I love a good lettuce wrap burger. Wendy's varies pretty wildly. Like, I've been to some Wendy's that are just trash. Undercooked, clearly microwaved burgers. I say microwave. Burgers that were clearly frozen and then tossed on the grill for a few seconds. Just, ugh. And the worst part is Wendy's buns are terrible. Unless you get the pretzel buns. It's actually better. It's not a joke. It's better to get a Wendy's burger and have your own burgers, your own buns at home. Remove the buns and then use your own buns instead, because Wendy's buns are trash. Now, here's the funny thing, Ross. I don't like Five Guys. Oh man, spicy chicken from Wendy's is great, though. Here's a weird tip if you have, like, what the hell was that? If you have the same bizarro kind of taste buds that I do. Spicy chicken, add pickles to it. I don't know what Fat Burger is. I've never heard of that one. Oh, it's a California thing. Yeah, I haven't been to California since 1996. Hey, Ramble, I'm here. It's as much as I got. Ah, I'm missing one coin.
Here I go.
Where's the coin I'm missing? One thing that also matters, obviously, I suppose, is the specifics. I like to use Subway as the example, but every chain has that problem. Every franchise has that thing where there's a really big gap in between a good one and a bad one. Good Chipotle is just awesome. It's flavorful, and it's spicy, and it's full of rich, hearty flavor, and you get all kinds of wonderful vegetables with it. And then you have bad Chipotle, which is a slurgy, fat burrito filled with, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Which is just absolutely terrible. And so, it kind of depends on the individual one. So, like, I can't say in good conscience that I like Burger King. Because I like specific Burger Kings, you know? Speaking of, like, for example, in general, McDonald's fries tend to be one of my favorites amongst the big ones. But I have been to places that have really, really bland, like, flavorless fries, and I don't even know how else to describe that. It's McDonald's fries that are flavorless. By the way, thank you very, very much, Ramble. Remember, you can put that towards up to 3 things, not just one. Hang on. What? Sorry, give me 1 second. So I have to enter here while mini? Yeah, looks like I do. Okay. I used to have a good Chipotle right by me. I do not anymore. Obviously, because I've moved since then. Where the hell do I get a mini shroom from?
What? Oh. What? Here I go.
My God. What do you mean, Savika? If you don't mind clarifying. Chipotle isn't Mexican food, it's Tex-Mex. I happen to like Tex-Mex, but that's not Mexican any more than Taco Bell is Mexican. Oh, using coins to unlock progression. Yeah, no, I think it's decent overworld design. What I really miss is Qdoba, which most of you probably never even heard of. It's another Chipotle variant, but just like higher prices and higher quality. I knew that was going to happen, too.
Here I go.
I actually really like a good Sonic. If I didn't already have lunch ready to go, I'd totally get Sonic today. Just don't get their fries. They're not that great. Oh my god. One of my aunts is so in love with El Pollo Loco that it's actually a tradition every time she visited for her to go to El Pollo Loco. And it's like, that was her big shtick, was you gotta take me to El Pollo Loco. And I'm like, okay. This will make you happy. What are you gonna get? No, I'm good. Depends on my mood, Yura. So, I happen to be a really big fan of limeades in general. But, most places don't do mango-flavored limeades. But Sonic's mango-flavored limeades are just some of my favorite stuff, like, ever. I could have that every day and be happy with it. I have had the basic limeade, yes? That's kind of a strange question. I just mentioned I like limeades, and you're like, have you had the most basic limeade that exists? Yes. Yes, I have. It's like if I just talked about, man, I love the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's, and you said, well, but have you ever had a McDonald's shake? And I'm like, but I just... I do like Dairy Queen burgers, although, it depends on the region, I've noticed. The further east you go, the better Dairy Queen gets. So can I describe limeade? Do you know what a lemonade is? Yeah, think a more sour lemonade, usually with a fruit flavoring to offset it. It's kind of like how you'll combine dark chocolate with flavoring, and the dark chocolate like adds to the flavor because of how bitter it is.
Here I go.
Hey, Spartan. Nope. Nope. There we go. Honestly, it's kind of mid so far, Spartan. Like, it's probably going to score well on effectively a technical level, but the content of the game has been there. Like, this might be one of the most mid games we've covered in recent memory.
Here I go.
I hear a lot of praise about bubble tea, usually from, like, YouTubers and like, but I don't really have a lot of exposure to it. I think I've had bubble tea before. But if I have no memory of it. Yeah, the level design is just there. My favorite power-up in this specific game is probably the mini shroom. It's a nice Ninja Mario, as it's usually called. It's a nice give and take on power. You still have 1 health, but you have way more control in the air. And your jump arc, that's the exact same mistake I just made. And your jump arc is crazy good.
Here I go.
My least favorite new power-up is the blue shell. I just pretty much will never use the blue shell if given a choice on the matter. Well, hopefully it's good, Fife. Because if it isn't... Okay, now I'm just screwed up all over the place. Oh, sorry, I wasn't counting Mega Mushroom. Sorry. Mega Mushroom is obviously the best. Duh. That's true in pretty much any game it's in. See you around, Kressler. Have a good one. I did, but I never 100%ed them. Because it was on the DS, Completionist. Like it or not, that's the answer. The DS bump is a real phenomenon. Just like the Switch bump is. Well, no, so I talked earlier about the DS and 3DS problem, the handheld problem, let's just call it what it is. And, the problem that nobody else experiences, that's not true. There's never been a really particularly comfortable way for me to enjoy handheld games. So I just generally don't have a lot of time to play them. That's really all that is. Okay, so yeah, hang on, no. Let's try that again. Screwed that up hard. There we go. 11 years. This was the first 2D Mario in 11 years. How's that for a wild thought?
So nice.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take a quick AFK before we go do World 3. I mean, it had the DS bump. Nintendo was kind of riding a high. Ugh. It was also appealing to nostalgia deliberately, which always works. Like, you've noticed there's literally sound effects from Super Mario Bros. 1 in this game, right? Like, you caught that. So, appealing to nostalgia, had the DS bump, came out in a good era, and it was the first 2D Mario in over a decade. Of course it was going to sell well, right? I'll be right back. I mean, kinda. Functionally the best-selling Mario game. Doesn't deserve that title at all. And yet here we are.
Here I go.
I'm curious if New 2 is going to do any better. Review-wise, I mean.
happy life, Day Melicor. I think you're right, Rex. So I'm pretty sure I'll like New too, and I know I'll like New U. The big question mark for me is the Wii one. I have really specific memories of that game, and they're not necessarily positive. You know? I don't know. We shall see. Perfect.
Here I go.
No, Spartan. This is the easy game, yes. The more I hear about that, the more I'm starting to question that assertion. Especially given the developers themselves have commented on how easy the game is, and it's like, really? Like, not that this is what I would call properly challenging, especially after having just gone through Yoshi's Island. I would say what this reminds me most of is the advanced games. You know, the ones I didn't really like and stopped playing because of that. Now, if you're not familiar with the amusement factor there, this started its life as a new advanced game. This was supposed to be the first new advanced game. That's actually where the title comes from, by the way. Because Advanced 1 was just 2. You know, a remaster or a remake of 2. And then Advanced 2 was Mario World, I want to say. God, I forget. You get my point, though. Each of the advanced games, all 4 of them, or 5 of them, excuse me, is just another, is just a tooling up or remake of an existing game. This was going to be new Advance. And it sure as hell controls like one. It is a strange feeling when a SNES game literally just controls better than a DS game. But here we are.
So nice.
Already getting Black Friday ads.
Here I go.
Oh wait, I did not mean to re-enter the stage. Hi, Cinematic. How's your day doing?
What? Oh. What?
To my knowledge, no, Savacom, but
Here I go.
I'll probably be streaming on Thanksgiving. Does that count? Notice this is just the main theme again. Like I said, there's like 3 versions of this theme that exist in the game, and they just keep remixing it in the same game. Eat an entire turkey on camera. It's like this big of a turkey.
Here I go.
Listen, Savacom, if I could have a Thanksgiving sub, turkey sub, that'd be great. I, of course, want it to be ham.
Here I go.
I'm not a big fan of turkey. Mayhaps appropriately.
Here I go.
Yeah, exactly. We only eat turkey once a year. Because it sucks. I mean, nobody really likes turkey. We all say we do, because it's like, yeah, it's turkey day. Okay. Okay, we don't have to eat that crap for another year. Whew. Oh man, Colgrim. We would already be in the hundreds. Mario Advance 4 alone accounts for literally 50 deaths by itself. Not an exaggeration. No, for Christmas ham, or for Christmas the meat is ham. Sorry, screwed on my own thing here. God damn it. And he's just, yeah, okay, cool. Cool. This is why I need an extra team, right?
Here I go.
I'll just hire someone. Hey, your job is to count every death across this entire run. All of them? All of them. I mean, apparently the only reason people go to Subway is to go to the bathroom, is what I keep hearing. Like, you know, not here to judge or anything, but I kind of go to Subway to, you know, get a sub. Maybe some white chocolate macadamia cookies. Or if you have those cheesecake raspberry cookies, those are good too. See you around, Smart. I know, right, Malachor? Almost every time I would go to a Subway for a very long time, I would get the 5-pack of white chocolate macadamia and give some away to friends and or family members, because holy crap. Yeah, I noticed that, Colgrim. It's a magical self-cleaning bathroom. Yeah, as a manager at Arby's, it was usually my job to clean the bathroom. So that was always fun. Arby's meat smells too much like dog food. And it puts me off a bit every time I have it. They have some good meals, though. And I will get Arby's like once in a blue moon, just because I feel like it. Oh, by the way, that's a lot of different Arby's places. They have that dog food smell. Apparently, it's a real phenomenon that just affects roast beef if you cook it at a certain style or whatever. I don't know, it's weird, but it's a thing. Seriously expect me to just... You do. Horseradish sauce for me. I love horseradish in general. I literally have a thing of horseradish sauce in the fridge right now, just for whatever. No, I think I knew what I said, Colin Peluso.
So
And I
nice.
stand by it.
Here I go.
Well, they grabbed a radish, they shoved it up a horse's butt, and what came out was horseradish. Boom. You're welcome. I have just ruined horseradish forever.
Here I go.
That... No, please don't clip that. It's just... Don't do it, Mr. Red. Don't do it, I'll know! Somehow I'll know. Damn. Dakota caught me. That's actually how you make ketchup, not horseradish. My bad.
Here we go.
I think the density is going to hurt the score of this one, too, as we're going through it.
So nice.
This is not going to be a super dense game. We're not even halfway through it yet, although we're about to be. We might manage halfway through by the lunch break. No, Blade Fall. Okay, hang on. Let me walk that sentence back. Am I enjoying this more than... Am I enjoying this more than the advanced version we were playing of Mario Bros. 3? Yes, absolutely. Do I enjoy this more than when I was actually playing Mario Bros. 3? Like when I pulled up my SMES version? No. Behold, riveting gameplay. Behold its glory. Oh my god, there's so many amazing and incredible things happening on the screen. I know. Okay. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. I've also just sort of taken to save stating regularly. I think that's probably gonna make this overall experience better. Just kind of avoid that problem, you know?
Here I go.
Was that before everything? It was. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not accepting that. Nope. 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 God damn it. Let me jump!
So nice.
I mean, maybe they just really don't want Mario to jump. Maybe that's just what's going on here. It's Treasure Tracker, but like early, you know? Okay. Do they have, like, spikes on their shoes or something? You see that, right? I can't tell if that's a graphical bug or if they just have stilts on. Yeah, I think it's a graphical glitch. Whatever. He was never heard from again. I'll think about it, Savacom. Kinda a deadly movement. I'm just going for all coins, not a true 100%. I never have, and this felt like a convenient time to do so. Oh, god damn it. God damn it. Okay, that sucks. Okay. Nope. Well, let's accept death then.
Here I go.
What kind of soup you making, Mr. Red?
Here I go. Here I go.
That's actually not what I want. I've never had ox heart. You'll have to tell me how it is. I mean, I know, it's a muscle, so whatever, but... I don't think I've had anything heart, actually. I have had cow tongue. I didn't like that. I really don't like liver. The rest of it sounds good, though. Come on. Ugh. These shrooms are high.
So nice.
I'm gonna cut off for lunch a little early and try to lay down for a little bit. So, I'll see you guys after the lunch break.